Pony in Hyrule by Pushi2009. Chapter 7. Point of View. Vio. I wish I'd got to know them more, but I suppose that would have made it even harder when they would have had to leave. I knew it was inevitable from the day I met her. The idea I thought of last night came back into my head. Crazy, but it would work. Vio, what are you thinking about? Twilight asked me, snapping back down to Hyrule. Oh, nothing, I replied. We were almost at the house when Fluttershy came running out, a scared expression on her face. What's the matter? I said, running to her. The monsters! They've taken Blue, Red, Applejack and Pinkie Pie, she gasped. What? Me and Twilight said. What about Green? Said Twilight. He's hurt, Fluttershy said, but they didn't take him, she said. I ran inside and saw Green lying on the floor. Blood was trickling down his neck and onto the floor. Oh crap, no. I ran inside and saw Green lying on the floor. He had a large gash on his forehead and his sleeve was ripped. Blood was trickling down his neck and onto the floor. I don't think I'm gonna make it, he croaked. No, come on Green, hang in there, I shouted. I can't, Green said, coughing up some blood. Green, come on, hang in there, Green! Green! I yelled. Green laid his head back and his eyes rolled upwards into his head. Right then, a purple aura surrounded him. What the? I said, surprised. I looked around and saw Twilight's horn glowing. She had her eyes closed and her face was screwed up in concentration. Green's forehead was healing up. The blood was disappearing. Green's eyes snapped open. Where? He said, quickly getting up. Then he realized. Twilight collapsed on the floor, panting. You saved me, Green said, after I tried to kill you. Twilight just nodded. She was too tired to even walk. The spell must have drained her energy. Thank you so much, he said, hugging her tightly. She was too tired to speak. I was surprised that Twilight saved him. I knew that she would, but saving someone on the brink of death? That was some powerful magic. Me, Green and Fluttershy had come up with the most intricate, most detailed, most devious plot to get our friends back. Find them and fuck the monsters up. That was it. Green, you stay here with Twilight, I said. Green opened his mouth to say that he was going as well, but decided that it would be better for him to stay. I grabbed my sword, and also Red and Blue's swords, which were lying on the floor next to where Green had laid. I picked up my bow and enchanted quiver. Fluttershy had decided that she would come as well. As me and her walked out of the door, I felt a hand on my shoulder. And Vio? Green said, his hand on my shoulder. Give 'em hell. I nodded and walked out, shutting the door. Now then, which way did they go? I said to myself. I think they went that way, Fluttershy said to me. I can smell them. Of course, they're ponies. They would have a great sense of smell. I followed Fluttershy into the forest. It was starting to get dark. We had been walking for a few hours. I'm sure, Fluttershy said again and again. The smell is strong now. I saw something out of the corner of my eye that made my stomach turn. I grabbed Fluttershy and pulled her behind a clump of bushes. Shh! I said to her. I peered out from the bushes. A fire was lit in a clearing. At least 10 moblins sat around it on logs, but these weren't ordinary moblins. They had purple skin. They wore deer skulls on their heads. They each had a large silver machete beside them. 4 sacks lay next to the fire. It was then that I noticed a roasting hog skewered above the fire. Well, would you believe that? The largest, ugliest moblin said, probably the chief. 2 Hylians and too many horses. I can't wait to eat them tomorrow, he said. Wait here, I'll be back, I said to her, pulling my knife out and twirling it around. I got that very knife from Steiner, you know. He was a smithy's assistant before he went crazy. I sneaked towards the sack, keeping low. Moblins are big, but very stupid. I reached the sacks but needed time. I picked up a rock off the ground and hurled it in the direction of the moblins. A small thud was heard. Just as I expected, they didn't even notice. I guess I had no other choice. Pony in Hyrule by Pushi2009. Excuse me. Chapter 8. Twilight and Green were already in their rooms when they got back. "I'm gonna sleep on here tonight," I said clumsily, falling down onto the sofa. "Fine then," Blue said, as all but Fluttershy went to their rooms.
Vio, could I please sleep in here with you? If that's okay with you, I mean,"
Fluttershy said. I was surprised. "Yeah, okay," I said. I laid down the sofa, and she curled up in front of me.
"Can you, put your hoof or arm around me, please?" she said.
I put my arm around her and pulled her slightly closer.
"Thank you. I'm very comfortable,"
she said. 1 second I was curled up next to Fluttershy, the next I was walking down a path into a forest. I was completely alone. "Where am I?" I said to myself. There was a castle in front of me. I looked at it. It wasn't Hyrule Castle. It was much older. It was in ruins. I walked through the main front doors and into a large hall. A throne stood at the far end. On either side hung 2 tapestries, a dark blue one and a light orange one. The blue one had a picture of a crescent moon on it. The orange one had a picture of the sun. "Glach, Celestia!" I shouted. A bright light appeared on the throne. When it had gone, a large pony stood there. She was completely white, but her flowing mane was a mixture of the shades of blue. She had a horn and wings. "It's been a long time," I said. "But I have you now," I said. "Ha! You doubt my power?" Princess Celestia said. "Let's see you stop a sharp piece of lead flying at you at 2,000 meters per second, 937 times per minute." She snorted. "Why are you here?" I asked her. "I'm not. But you are dead now," she said. "What are you talking about?" I said. "It's all over now, Vio." "I've won," she said, vanishing. A crack from behind me said that the door had closed behind me. Wait, what door? But my exit was barred. A darkness consumed the castle. As it consumed me, I felt my life leak away. I collapsed on the floor. I was dead. Nothing could change that. I felt something warm and soft against me. I opened my eyes. I was lying on a sofa, Fluttershy lying beside me. "Fucking dreams," I said, rubbing my head. I stood up and looked outside. Then I remembered. They were leaving, weren't they? Even her. Twilight entered through the door, rubbing her eyes. "When are we leaving?" she said, rubbing her eyes.
Did you say?
I just kept staring out of the window. "Vio, are you okay?" she said, sounding concerned. "I'm fine," I said. Me and Twilight told the others what was happening today. They were upset, but knew it was all for the best. Besides, Equestria would be screwed without the elements of harmony. After a gloomy breakfast, we all walked towards the town. We drew a lot of attention from the townspeople. We went down the dark alley and knocked on the door to room 25. "It's me, Steiner," I called into the door. "I've got the other ponies with me." The door burst open and there stood Edward. "Ah, look at the little ponies, aren't they cute?" he said. "So, how do they go back?" I asked. "Yeah, just follow me." He walked down a flight of stairs into an underground room. There was a large portal there. "Edward, you have really been studying these guys hard, haven't you?" I said, amazed. "Yeah, this portal will take anyone to Equestria, but they cannot go back. That is the deal of the crazy people," Steiner said. "Don't ask," I muttered to Pinkie Pie. "Yeah, just go when you are ready. I need to go and have some tea with my ancient carrot. See you next Tuesday," he shouted back at us as he walked up the stairs. "I guess this is goodbye," I said.
"Yes, it is,"
Fluttershy said. She burst into tears. I hugged her tightly. "Goodbye, Fluttershy," I said. Then I cried. I had never cried before. Never. But now I did. The warm tears fell down my cheek and onto the portal. "Bye," the 4 Links said at once. They stepped back, and they were gone. The 4 just stared at the portal. "No, no, no!" the Links said in unison. They all jumped through the portal. Dun, dun, dun! Boom. The end. Oh my god. Oh, it's over. Okay, so I've finally finished this. Oh my god, I've been recording for 3 hours straight. It's midnight right now. Oh, I'm tired. I've fought my way through, and I have been victorious. Yay! Oh well, thank you for watching or listening, I suppose. Gosh, well, I'll get the next book in the trilogy out soon. But until then, make sure you like and subscribe everything. Okay? That's very important. You got that? Good. So anyway, this has been Pony in Hyrule by Pushi2009, read by Herring Games. Peace out, baby!